Hello netizens, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna start off this video by saying that, yes, I, Stella, am a hypocrite. Why is that? Well, it's because this video will be about how genuinely stupid I find the Minecraft marketplace to be, while also quote-unquote owning some free, emphasis on the word free, items from it. Pause to look. Now with that out of the way, I know some of you are wondering what the marketplace even is, considering most people who've played Bedrock Edition for the past 10 years have never used it. And even for the people who have seldom used it like me are still confused by its existence. So, for this first chapter, I will explain what the marketplace is and why it exists. Here's a hint, it involves money. So to start with, what is the Minecraft marketplace? Essentially, it's a store where you can make microtransactions to buy minecoins, Minecraft's currency, to buy stuff from the marketplace like maps, skins and add-ons, which are basically paid mods. I'll get into the problems about paid mods in the next chapter, but for now, I want to show y'all how you buy stuff in the marketplace and how to get minecoins. I will also show you how the marketplace items you buy work, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's start with how you buy stuff. To begin with, I thought I'd show you how to find items to buy within the marketplace. First, tap or click on the search icon on the top right corner, and voila, you're in. Next, let's look around and find some items to get. Because I'm not willing to pay for mods that are usually free, I'm just gonna get some free stuff as an example. Please note that even though I hate the idea of paying for this stuff in the modern day, I do not encourage or support any attempt of harassment towards the people that make these items, as I believe most of them are simply just trying to make a living in this economy, and honestly, good for them. Anyways, now that we have installed some add-ons, we are ready to demonstrate how these add-ons work, but before that, let me show you just how much you can pay for minecoins. Admittedly, even though I've been exaggerating about how much real-life money you can spend to buy minecoins, it still doesn't make the idea of microtransactions in Minecraft any less ridiculous to me. And that is one of the problems with the marketplace, in my opinion, the idea of microtransactions being in Minecraft. Again, it's ridiculous, mainly because I thought that Minecraft was one of those games that you pay a small fee to buy and get many hours of enjoyment out of it without microtransactions, and it still is. But it's just the idea, if you know what I mean. But if you ever find yourself buying $50 worth of minecoins, I kindly suggest you take a step back and review your spending habits. Trust me, it's good for your wallet and your sanity. Anyways, I think I explained the marketplace as best as I could for right now. So let's move on to our next chapter, demonstrating add-ons, skins, and maps. Now before we get into this chapter, I do want to mention that all opinions shared in the demonstration are my opinions. None of you guys need to agree with me, I'm just saying. Anyways, on to the demonstration. Welcome to the demonstration on the More TNT add-on. First off, let's get started by going over what I like. 1. The variety of TNT. Each type of TNT is different from each other and they all do different things, which is pretty cool. But some TNT types have different downsides, to which I will explain in a minute. 2. The fact that all TNT types are craftable. But, please note that for all of the demonstrations I did, I used creative mode to make it a little easier. But if you were in survival mode, you can craft all of the different TNT as shown here in the book and quill, which has all the crafting recipes. 3. They also just look pretty cool, but I have the vibrant visuals graphic preset applied, so that's probably why. By the way, if you have a weaker iPad, as in a generic 10th or 11th gen iPad and not any of those fancy iPad Airs or Pros with the M chips, it's gonna lag somewhat when playing with the vibrant visuals preset. Anyways, now that I've gone over the good parts of this add-on, I want to touch on the bad parts of this add-on, of which there are two main problems. 1. The lagging. As I just mentioned, if you try to play on the Vibrant Visuals preset and if you have a weaker device, it will lag. And that, combined with this add-on plus some types of TNT like the Disco TNT, can massively lag your device, including mine, in which I was sure that it would crash after lagging so bad. But it didn't, and although I never thought to record the footage of it lagging then, I sure did try to recreate it. This was the following result. I would say that lagging just displayed hurts the experience on the add-on, and it does. But with the iPad 10th Gen that I used to record the footage being almost year old, it both doesn't and does shock, because on one hand, when you're playing a game like Minecraft on an older and less powerful device, you just accept it to not run very well. But on another hand, this iPad I'm talking about is, again, almost a year old. Hardware that this just doesn't magically make games like Minecraft lag like crazy in a year. In fact, Minecraft was one of the first games I played on it during the first few months of getting the iPad, so it just doesn't make sense. One more thing I want to mention before I move on to our next demonstration in the fact that the TNT in the add-on are just entities that you can spawn in by tapping on the spawn eggs in the natural section. Now that is what I call strange. Of course, I'm not blaming the developers on the add-on, as either the toolset to make new blocks is very primitive or just doesn't exist, and I'm willing to bet that something like that just doesn't exist. Correct me if I'm wrong though, as I've never seen an add-on dev kit. Or maybe, So yeah, what did we learn? We learned that instead of making a traditional dev kit / menu for add-on developers, they just make them mess around with folders and flies. I would say that it's sad, but I'm sure there's something I'm missing that makes it more smoother. But honestly, we're getting to the tail end of this video as it is. So I'm just gonna show y'all a map and some skins. Should be fun, so let's go. Welcome to the Vault-Tec mashup, based of the iconic franchise Fallout. Now, to the average Minecraft player, something like this map probably seems like nothing in today's day and age, but I have you know that this, alongside some other mashup and certainly the Christmas mashup, is really nostalgic to me and probably a lot of other people. In addition, it was also one of the DLCs included for the new Nintendo 3DS version, which is pretty cool. Hey y'all, editing Stella here, and as it turns out, I was completely wrong about the Vault-Tec mashup being in the 3DS version, as aside from the Mario mashup and the Festive mashup, there were no other mashups released. Sorry about that. Anyways, back to our regular programming. But although I have some extreme nostalgia for this mashup, it's really just a bunch of structures and a texture pack. Another problem is that after I was done recording footage of the mashup for this video, it made Minecraft itself lock up and just hang on the loading screen, forcing me to reboot my iPad just so it could work. As frustrating as it was dealing with that sort of thing, I'm not really gonna blame the mashup because it is a rather old mashup. Now with that said, let's look at some skins. It's just skins. You apply them to your Minecraft character and forget about it. There's a bunch of them, but honestly, who cares? The only other thing you can do with skins is spin them around and around and around. Well, I think we're pretty much done with investigating the marketplace and demoing stuff, so let's move on to the next chapter to see what other people think on the marketplace. Now, when it comes to the internet's opinions on the Minecraft marketplace, myths usually very negative. But to simplify things, I'm gonna go over the most talked about issues about the marketplace. Starting with the fact that since Minecraft is a game built around its community and its free mods, microtransactions just don't make sense for this game, in which I completely agree with. Largely because of how dystopian the marketplace really is as an idea. And paying for one's free community mods is just called making bad financial decisions, cause, even on Bedrock, you can just go to CurseForge and download mods from there instead of paying like $9 for slop. Anyways, another thing I saw mentioned was the fact that since you can't import your own skins and add-ons on consoles, users, or in this case, kids, who primarily play Minecraft on console, are getting ripped off by the marketplace due to the prices and the lack of quality control, as the post I just showed y'all mentioned. Additionally, the marketplace adds that fine layer of corporate crap that sours the overall Minecraft experience. As for my opinion on the Minecraft marketplace, ultimately, in comparison to other microtransactions shops I've seen, the Minecraft marketplace isn't the worst thing ever, but it's certainly not the best, especially with the quality control issues. The entire idea of Minecoins, the fact that you have to pay for add-ons which are just renamed mods, mojang, screwing over console players, and so on. There's also other problems with the marketplace like stealing of content, but it's beyond the scope of this video, so if you want to see me going over the numerous cases of plagiarism on the marketplace, let me know. Anyways, let's now move on to the final chapter of this video, my conclusion and outro. In conclusion, you're not missing out on anything by avoiding the marketplace. In fact, I think you're doing yourself a favor by staying away and living your life marketplace free. And with that, we have officially reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed, why not like and subscribe? It's free, and you can see more videos just like this. Don't forget to check out my socials in description. Until next time, see ya later, netizens. Wanna see more? I gotcha? Check out one of these videos and I will see ya there.